Okay, we've got quite a few people on and joining the session, so we're going to get started. Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah. I'm a trainer out on the West Coast. I've got my colleague Vivian online as well. If you want to say hi, she's going to be moderating the chat. If you have any questions, that's a great place to put them. You can also unmute your line if you did want to speak to us about something. We would love to hear from you. So welcome to our training session today. We are going to be going through CRM campaigns. This is the second part of the CRM training. So hopefully you have already done the templates training, which I run every Wednesday. If not, I'll show you where to sign up for that at the end. So do make sure to attend that training as well, because as you'll see throughout, the templates and the campaigns are really work within two parts, and they really need to go together when it comes to building up your new Velocity CRM. So let's get started. Just an overview of what we're looking at today. First off, we'll kind of explain the difference of the campaigns versus the templates and what you're looking at when you log into your Velocity CRM, because you'll see a menu bar there. And I want to make sure that you guys know basic navigation and exactly what it is you see there. Then we're going to jump into using a pre-built campaign. So using some of the system super easy turnkey defaults, show you just how easy that is. And from there, we'll go on to actually showing you how to set up one from scratch. So if we don't have the pre-built version that you're looking for, how you can go and build that yourself as well. We'll follow lastly with how to get set up with direct texting. So these templates come in both SMS and email. Pretty awesome. You can reach your clients across multiple mediums. And we're going to show you how to get set up for text messaging, because you do need to get registered with Twilio, which is just takes a couple of minutes in the system. We've got a free promo code for you that we're going to share. So let's get started. First off, an overview. So when I log into the CRM in a couple of seconds, this is what you're going to see on the left side. So you're going to have the audience list, which we will cover today as well, campaigns, which is, of course, our main focus, as well the activity page, and templates. So templates is the training that I do every Wednesday. And a note on that, the templates and the campaigns are kind of like a couple. They go together, right? So the campaigns need a template in order to send, and the templates need to be plugged into a campaign to be sent. The difference there is that the template is the email or the message content itself that is going out. So maybe the video, the text, the image, and the campaign is actually defining who and when it is sending. Okay, so we're going to start off using the system pre-built ones, show you how easy it is, like you can see here, easy as pie, to get these up and going for you and make them start working for you. They're already there in your system. All you have to do is just go and enable them. Okay, so let's jump in. I'm going to switch over now to my Velocity screen and show you, once I've logged in, I need to go to my Velocity CRM on the left side. This is where you'll find all your CRM material. So go ahead and click from there, from your Velocity homepage. And that will launch me straight into my CRM. So here we go. You can see the menu bar I just showed you on the slideshow. We just went over the differences here. We're going to start, of course, with our campaigns. Okay, so here, what you're seeing on this page is the ones that I've already worked on, okay? If you've already opened and been working on some, this is where they will always display, where you can always come and use the pencil to edit or pause to stop them from going out. But when you first go in there, you won't have any. So I don't want you to worry and think that maybe we missed giving you the pre-built ones. That's easy enough to find. You just have to go ahead and click to create campaign to find those. And voila, here we go. We can see the two options that it's presenting us with. Do you want to use these pre-built ones, for which we offer the most common and successful options when it comes to communicating with your clients, like the closing campaign, new application, SMS, pre-approval, stuff like that? Or at the top, If you're not happy with these, or there's something else you want to use that we don't have, you can go ahead and create your own from scratch. So we're going to first off use these pre-built, and then we'll switch over to showing you how to create. Okay, first one we're going to do is super easy. It's just one stage, one message going out, the ever common and popular happy birthday message. So I'm going to click on the pencil here next to the default birthday to jump in to kind of see under the hood. What is Velocity set up for me? How is it triggering this? And as I mentioned before, the only thing that you need to do to publish this and make it ready to go is assign it a template and click to publish. Okay, but let's look at what Velocity has done to define who receives these messages. So up here, they've defined your audience as anyone whose contact birthday is today. Pretty obvious, right? Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Just leave as is. Then when you go down here, you can see the stages. Now, birthday is just a one send, right? You're not going to send them like a week in advance. Your birthday is coming soon, and then again on their birthday. We just do one happy birthday message. With the things like pre-approval or maturity date, you might see multiple stages that are going to go in, 3 months before, a month before, 2 weeks before. So that would be divided into stages. And that's the whole purpose behind these stages and the numbers there and the ability to add new stages. Okay, so for birthday, just the one, click on this to expand it. And we can jump to see that it asks for some basic information. First things first, I told you template is the only thing you really need to add because everything else is done. So just go ahead and click the little pencil here to select your template. Reason why I do templates before this training session typically is because at this point you do need a template to plug in before you can make this live. So it is important to have those set up. So again, I'll show you where to register for that after the session. So go pick from your templates. Obviously, the birthday one is quite fitting here. I will check to select. And there we go. It tells me when it was last edited and the name that I've chosen. The rest of these we'll kind of get into when we build from scratch, but basically it's just asking, what is the subject line for this email? And then the rules and conditions for this particular stage. So if you have, 3 stages and they're sending at 3 different times, that's where this would come in, and it would say, okay, you're sending 60 days before maturity, 30 days before maturity. This is where you define that. But for this one, because it's just a simple one send, contact birthday is today. Is no changes needed. Okay, from there, approval, up to you. Do you want to require approval, meaning that it will show up here on your activity page? I want to highlight this page for you guys, and we will jump there. If you require approval, it will show up here and wait for you to essentially enable and say, yes, I want this to send. We are recommending that you guys do that right now because we're kind of in the progress of building the tracking system for these sends. So good idea to require approval so that you can always see what's going out. When it does show up on your activity page, you'll be able to specify exactly when you want it to send, or even, cancel. Let's say it's a maturity notice 30 days out and they've already renewed. You don't want that to send. Good idea to require approval. Otherwise, auto approval is another option here. And I could say, I want it to just go on its own after it's triggered, maybe 0 hours after. So that would just go, immediately once it's triggered. Otherwise, you can delay it and say, I want a little time delay there, just to give me some time there. Okay, recurrent schedule. So this down here is mostly important for this birthday campaign. You won't really see it in too many other campaigns. Reason being, the birthday, you want to send to a client every year, right? You want to send this year and next year and the year after. So we need to set that this campaign is capable of kind of restarting and resending to the same person. So therefore, we would set the recurrence to start of year. Little side tip there, I would probably set a reminder for myself to go back a year from now and refresh that template, change out that template, just so that I'm not sending them the exact same template 2 years in a row. Okay, when you're ready, you would click Publish Campaign, and that's it. That's making it live for you. If you are not ready to publish, then you should just go to another page, jump off. It's auto saving for you, just like Velocity you're used to in the system. So don't worry if it's about hitting publish right away. If you need some time to go back and edit the template or come back and make some edits, you can always hit publish later on. Okay, so that's our simple, straightforward birthday. I'm going to pause if there's any questions coming in.
Hey, hi Sarah. Yeah, just from Brian. He was just wondering, notifications that you have something to send on your activity page. Is there anything other than just, popping into your activity page and verifying that you have something to send? Is there another notification?
Okay, so yeah, the activity page is basically your be all end all. So you're going to want to go there a couple times a day. That is where you'll essentially see things that are scheduled to send. You are going to as well eventually have a little kind of exclamation mark up here that'll say, flag, you have activities to approve. But yeah, activity page is your go-to.
That's it?
Okay.
That's it. You're covering everything.
All right. Okay, so we are going to move on, and I'm going to once again hit create campaign. And for the purpose of showing you the functionality of the stages, I'm going to choose one with multiple stages, okay? Because we just did birthday, which is only one stage, right? One send on their birthday. But if it's something like a pre-approval campaign, and I want to, give them lots of warning up until the date, it's going to go in different stages. So I'm going to use this default one again and just click on the pencil to use. And here we go. We can once again see how this has been constructed by us. So the first step here is that we've defined the audience. Who is this campaign going to? Is it going to your borrowers, only primary borrowers? Referral partners, maybe I want to update them on the status of a deal. Okay, in this case, it's going to be for borrowers. And the next step is defining the audience in more detail. So who particularly should receive this campaign? In this case, obviously, it's pre-approval applications. So all pre-approval applications, I want this campaign to trigger to. So we've already added this for you. Again, you can skip on to the next step because this is pre-built. And here is the difference from the birthday that you saw. This one has 5 different stages, and you can see the days defined here, the time periods. So first one, 120 days, then 90, 60, and you even have one that goes post expiry that you'll definitely want to require approval for just in case it's not applicable. Okay, so let's jump into one of these. And again, template is the one thing I need to add. So I'll click to add on the pencil and go and find your applicable template. So this case I'm going to do, let's just choose this. And subject, already done for you. If you don't like this email subject, you can make a change. Rules and conditions. So this is defining when this specific stage should fire. This one being 60 days out will quite obviously be 60 days before the closing date. And in Velocity, we use the closing date as the rate expiry. If it were the 30-day out, then guess what it would be? 30 days before the closing date. Same thing goes for 90 and 120. Then post expiry, your rules there would be has occurred, so closing date, in the past 30 days ago. Okay, you guys don't need to worry too much about this though, because this is already done for you. Again, all you had to do was add the template. Okay, approval. So again, does this require approval, or do you want it to auto approve? If you find some of these excessive, you can always remove. So maybe I don't want this post closing date to go. I'm going to remove that stage. Okay, and once again, when you're ready, just hit publish. If you are not though, that's fine. You can always exit out of this page. There's no save button. It's auto saving for you. So I'm ready to go. I like this campaign. I'm going to go ahead and publish. And it'll warn you here if you're missing things. So I didn't, maybe, oops, I forgot to add a template, which I mentioned is the only thing you do have to add to these pre-builts. So it'll tell you, you need to go and add a template before we can publish this. Okay, we're gonna move on now to looking at creating from scratch. So creating something new. So if on that pre-built list, you find there's something that you want to send that we haven't included, you have the option, of course, to create your own. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So as we jump in to create campaign, you're going to see two options. You're going to see dynamic and targeted. This is basically giving you an option of the type of campaign and how you want to define your audience. So dynamic is what the pre-built ones I'll use. And this is for using rules and conditional logic to determine the audience. So I don't set that I want it to go to all my realtors, say, because we don't have realtors tagged. We'll see that in a second how we do that. It's through audience lists. But I would set for all my pre-approval clients, or all my approval clients when the deal is closing, or all my maturity dates. So anything that you can really set rules based off of the status, the closing dates, etc. That's going to be a dynamic campaign. And the reason we recommend those is because they automatically update to include any new additions. Targeted campaign, now this applies with something like a newsletter, what I'm going to do right now. Or if you have a specific group of people, like your realtors, say, that you want to send a note out to. Okay, that would be an audience. We need to create an audience list of those people. In the past, we had tags that you could tag someone as a realtor or a solicitor or a gold client, but we're replacing that with audience lists. And reason being, when our build reports come out really soon, you'll see that we have an amazing way of mining your data to find specific audience lists and filter them directly into a list. So let's say you want to look at clients who are potentially coming up, could be potential for a reverse mortgage. You can go and do a specific search on age, income, etc., and immediately filter them into an audience list and target just that list with the campaign. So this will all become more clear as we go through this example, okay? I'm gonna do a newsletter as an example. And we're gonna choose targeted campaign because I'm gonna specify that I just want it to go to my newsletter list. So create campaign. We're not using a pre-built, we are starting new. And I'll just name it, newsletter for May. Click to get started. And here it gives me the option. You'll notice you didn't have to click these options before because we were using pre-built ones that already had done this. But here I'm building it myself, so I'm defining it. Is this based off of deal status or closing date or something to do with a deal? Is it based off of just a contact, so maybe like a happy birthday? Or is it based off of alternate properties besides subject property, maybe for maturity notices? In this case, it's a newsletter. I'm just sending to my contacts, so it's a contact campaign. Now, do I want to send email or SMS? Options there. SMS obviously goes straight to their phone. Any responses will come to you into your deal and contact page. But for this one, I've got my nice, pretty email newsletter built up, so I'm going to choose email. Okay, is it dynamic or is it targeted? So this is what we just looked at. Dynamic is defined off of rules and conditional logic, but because I'm going to create an audience list just of a specific group of people, I'm going to use targeted. And now, before I move any further, I want to make sure I have that audience list made. So let's open this guy. So I'm in my audience list tab, and here are my previously created ones. You can see I have realtors, solicitors, me, myself, and I. That's a good one for a test. But here's how to create. So if I want to do an all contacts for newsletter, go to create audience list, name your list, in this case, all contacts, pretty simple. And now here is your option here. Do you want to start with 0 and go through your list and click to add just those that you want? So that'd be better for a smaller list like realtors. Or do you want to start with all contacts and go through and just take away people you don't want? In this case, because it's a large group, I'm going to choose all. Okay, so here you have your contact list. You can go to add new ones by clicking here. And just simply do a search. So if I want to add my specific client, I can go there. Or if I want to take away clients, you can do that on the previous page too. Hitting select will add them to the list. So let's say I don't want to send to Dr. Bonnie Henry. I would just click to remove selected. Okay. When I'm ready, click save. That will save your audience list. And then you can jump back to our Velocity CRM where we're building our campaign and choose, yes, I want targeted audience, and continue where I can say which audience specifically I want. Okay, so this looks different than the pre-built ones that we've seen because you're making it yourself, right? So we need to define who it's sending to. So first stop, obviously, who is this sending to? Click the drop down and choose your audience lists that you've already built. In this case, I'm going to do all contacts. Now here, you can add a rule if you want. You can see it is optional though. So add condition if you want to add a defining feature. So I want to refine this list and I want this only to go to my contacts. Okay. Or I could do leads if I want to do, filtering out to my leads. Birth date, obviously this was used for the birthday campaign, which we already saw. In this case, I'm going to probably just choose my contacts is contact. Okay, so sending to all my contacts in the system. Now, as we've seen before, this stages. I have to define when is this stage sending, and I have to plug in the template. So stage 1, this is going to be, okay, my newsletter. Choose the template. So all the same of what we've done before. Add in the subject. Something fun like that, something eye-grabbing. The more attention getting, the better. And then rules and conditions or schedule, really. So do you want to further define your audience? In this case, no, we don't, because we're sending to all contacts. It's pretty broad audience. But we do need to schedule. So scheduling, I'm going to say when I want this to be sent. Choose to send on or after. and the date will be probably today because it's for May and May is coming to a close. So I want to get this out there. So I'll choose the date and choose the time. My time right now, it's 11:30, so I could do 12 p.m. Okay, approval, again, only require approval if you want to have to approve it on your activity page. We are recommending that for now because until we get our real tracking in place, it's good to know what goes out. And then choose to auto approve after, or choose to auto approve if you don't want it on your activity page. Okay, and that would be it. You just go ahead and hit publish. That would be good to go. So it's telling me good to go. Side note, once you do hit publish, if you do come back and publish again, there's a chance that recipients may receive the previous stages again. So be careful when you have campaigns with multiple stages, how many times you're really publishing it, because if the rules apply to those people again, they will receive it again. Okay, now I've gone and published. You can see it's here, it's live. What I want to tell you guys though is that, once this is sent, so I've scheduled this to send in half an hour from now, I just want to go back maybe tomorrow or a week from now when I want it to stop sending and make sure to hit this pause button, okay? Because if I add new people to my all contacts audience list, then it will send to those new people added to the list, right? Because I'm saying they're part of this list, they should receive this campaign. So therefore, I'll just want to pause it whenever I don't want it to send out to anyone new added. So probably for me, I'd go back maybe next week sometime and I would click to pause. Okay, moving forward, if I were to build the June newsletter then next month, I wouldn't reuse the same one. I would go and I'd create a new campaign and update my audience lists to just keep it fresh and clean every time. Okay, I'm going to pause there for questions.
Okay, we got some good ones. Let me back it up a bit. Oh, can you send to just one person? Can you just do one person, one special person you want to send out a template?
Yeah, absolutely. You can just create an audience list with just that one person's name and schedule the campaign to send to them. Very easy.
Perfect. And for some people that are very smartly following along with you and they can't see all of the default campaigns, I was suggesting to them, Sarah, what they might need to do is log out and restart their velocity, because I believe it was last Thursday at midnight, the updates came in. So if you don't log out each night and go into the new version of velocity and get all the updates, you might be missing what we've put into the system.
Yeah, that could be it. Or they could be looking on the wrong page. If you're going campaigns and just looking on the campaign homepage, that is not where the defaults live. You have to click create campaign. So that's something people miss.
I agree. That really trips up a lot of people. So really good points. It's going to be sitting there.
Otherwise, clear your cache maybe too. That could help. If none of the above help, then you can reach out to us or customer care.
Exactly. Okay. So as far as the newsletter goes, a participant was wondering, do the newsletters still go out automatically like in autopilot, or as you just demonstrated, would you have to get that newsletter, create a template in Velocity, and then send it via campaign?
You do need to do the process that I just took you through. The templates for newsletters, for now, we're just telling people to copy and paste your autopilot, like copy the text, save the image, copy it into the Velocity templates. And I will show you how to do that on a template training session. But we will soon have templates for network newsletters in there.
Exactly. I know DLC coming in August. It should be available. Yeah. Here's a good one from Jameson. He has a bunch of people tagged as first-time home buyers. Okay. Is there a way right now that I can quickly import this entire list?
No. We are working on a new uploader tool essentially for that. So that's coming shortly. You can go and add them as a contact each one of them. But if you are wanting to do kind of a mass import, then that's just going to have to hold tight for a little bit until we get that new importer tool going.
Exactly. And then is there not too, once we have, if you're right, if they are there as a contact and you can tag them or not tag them, there's going to be an opportunity to put that they're a new home buyer or first time home buyer. You'll be able to build that audience list. Is that coming in 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, that builder report and layers?
Yeah, build report is coming on the 27th.
Yes.
At midnight, so 28th. But filtering into an audience should be a couple weeks after that.
I was going to say, I think it's into July. Okay, from Amar. If we want to do a pre-approval campaign where the same templated emails would be sent in a pre-scheduled order, yeah, how would we add them so the system knows when to roll out the campaign in the same order? I think you already spoke to that.
Yeah, I think what you mean is, so let's look at this, for example.
Yeah, you could even go to the pre-approval one.
I think what you mean is, how do I define when these stages are sending? Because this is a campaign, there's 4 components to it, and it needs to know when it's sending, right? So one way to do it is defining, okay, 120 days after the closing date. Then the next one, stage 2, I've got going 90 days after the closing date. So it's just defining when it's sending. Another option there is, if you're not using the rules, you can schedule, if you're doing off specific dates, schedule, and then set the next, there'll be an option for the next stage to say delay like 30 days after a previous stage has fired. Okay, so I think it'll become quite intuitive as you go through the setup process and just play around with the schedule or the rules.
Correct. Another question from Amart. He has 6 pre-done templates. Yes, 6 pre-done templates. Do you know how many you have in your system right now, Sarah, if you pop out?
That sounds right.
That sounds correct. Yeah, I mean, and depending on who your network is, each brand can have more or less than some of those set out. Okay. Okay, this is a really good one from Jameson. Thanks for bringing this up. When will the old Velocity CRM be sunsetted and closed down?
Yes, thank you. That, I believe, is June 24th. So I would definitely, if you're setting up your campaigns here and you're publishing them too, you're going to want to go in and deactivate those old ones, because you don't want, 2 messages going out.
Exactly. I'm just putting that in here. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, perfect. I think that's it for now, Sarah.
Okay. Alrighty, so let's move on to set up your direct texting. We did look at campaigns with email templates, but there are also SMS templates available. And I want to just show you how to get that promo code in so that you have available at your fingertips, ready to go with it when you're ready to use the SMS templates. Again, attend my Wednesday training. I'm plugging the Jesus out of this one if you want to know how to set up those SMS templates. And we are soon as well going to be having a SMS focused training session that's going to take you guys through understanding, the why and the how and the most important messages that we recommend setting up to really reach out to your clients and meet them where they're at. So let's go into my Velocity. And this is done from your settings page. So I know you're all active users at this point, hopefully, and you're familiar with your settings. So back on my Velocity, I'll go to, and if you do want to follow along, that's great. If you don't, then maybe just write down the code I'm going to give you. And click on the Me here, Settings. Okay, and Twilio here, this little red guy, is the third-party company we use for this service. So you're going to need to pick your Twilio number. So what you'll see here is an option to connect. Mine's already connected, but you'll see connect, click on that, and that will take you straight to this page. So asking you, do you want to pay $50 or do you want to use the free code? I think we want to use the free code. And this is free until the end of June. I'm not sure if there will be an extension there, but at least we've got another month or so to play with it. So click on the free one and enter this promo code, which I can paste in the chat. Make sure you guys get a copy.
We've got it in there, Sarah.
Oh, thank you very much. You're ahead of me. Okay, and just go ahead and hit start. Okay, that's it, easy peasy. You'll have access to free SMS messages. You'll just have to then come back to the settings and see this little toggle. It wants me to add a phone number. So go ahead and click add. Input your area code. And it'll come up with some options. So step 2, here we go. Here are all the numbers available in that area code. Pick the one you like, maybe you have a lucky number or so, and click to purchase. That's it. That will forever then be your assigned Twilio number. We do have a recommended text that we set up. I'll show you how to do in templates training to send automatically anytime you receive a new application to give clients this number so that they have it right in their phone, and you can include your email and phone number. No better way to really give them your contact info other than to go straight into their SMS inbox, right? We all know how easy it is. Once you have a number text in there, you just click one click to save it to your contacts, okay? Many reasons why to get into using texting nowadays. People are always on their phone. They always have it on them. Anywhere they go, basically, we always light up when we see that number flashing. We have a message. So it really is the fastest and most efficient way to get a hold of people. So I'll just tell you, that is where you pick your Twilio number. It is different from your mobile number. Why? Well, simple enough. Your mobile number works with your mobile phone. And the Twilio number works with your velocity. So you're able to send and receive messages through the system. And I'm going to encourage you guys to attend our upcoming SMS training to see more about how that works. Okay, so that takes us almost to the end. The help doesn't stop here. We do have a training page that I want to point out to you guys. If you haven't already seen, go to newton.ca, so where you go to log in, and right next to where you log in, there is a big Learn button. Click on that and click, you'll see the different levels. So these are really great collection of ordered videos for how to learn the system, self-guided basically. We really break up everything by topic. You can come and search out. So I want to know more about the campaigns, or come to this last line, the Velocity CRM. This is a recent addition, and this gives you all the help with setting up your CRM. So congrats, today we did campaigns, we looked at audience lists, and we looked at setting up direct texting. So you can go through if you need a refresh. Templates though, as I did stress more than a couple times, we do need to get our templates set up first, because the campaigns need a template. So here, if you don't want to wait for my training, come and watch this 9-minute video. It takes you through most things you need to know. Otherwise, sign up for the training at the link right here. Lastly, if you need help getting started, this is a pretty easy system to use, but there aren't enough hours in the day, we know. We do have the option to outsource. So here you go. You can go to this need help getting started. Just fill in your contact information, and the CRM contractors are available to basically do this setup for you. The starting package is 3 hours for $199, and then hourly after that, if you should so need, $70 per hour. All right, how are we doing for questions?
We are good. I've just been putting all the links that you've been fantastically referencing in the chat. So